for tuition increases.
Yeah, they're going to be COVID.
Here we are with a big hole in the budget. We want you to have the best possible education. How do we pay for it?
So we appreciate that. So one of the models we've looked at is called the public pivot model. It's been come out of the University of Washington. One of the things it does, it says if we're in this difficult fiscal situation, where savings should come is from individuals who are making the most money. So we have here like a list of SUNY administrators who make $790,000, $500,000, $300,000. If you do statewide across the board temporary reduction in salaries to the highest paid administrators, it can save tens of millions of dollars. And they have the best ability in order to take that. Instead of putting it in the backs of working class students,
let me tell you what happens.
And millionaire administrators should pay the cost.
Let me tell you what happens. We are competing with colleges all over the country. So if we don't pay our administrators what they consider competitive salaries, they'll go somewhere else. Then what do we do?
I think that's a category mistake. What you're doing is using private, competitive market analysis towards a public institution.
But we are competing with both public and private institutions. So if we're competing with them, and they therefore want to go somewhere else, then you don't have the leadership to provide the quality of education we need.
The leadership is failing the students. That's a total falsity. These administrators aren't working. Nancy Zimper's not working for students. George Phillips not working for students. Our deans are making bad cuts.
If that's true, then you ought to let us know the details. He came up with this whole idea of public-private partnerships and a lot of other things, and went out front with it. We couldn't, you know.
James, that's this gentleman. What is your name, sir?
My name?
You don't want to know?
Citizen. I'm just a citizen.
You're a citizen.
A citizen and an expensive citizen.
Okay.
So the point is that this was not something that SUNY necessarily wanted. It's not something that we're going to do everything we can to provide additional funds for those students who still have a problem because the TAP won't cover the tuition increase.
And so where are the details for that in this bill?
Well, it's not in there's no bill.
Right, and that
but
would be part of the problem.
It might be. I'll tell you something very specific.
Wow.
I talked to...
Today is actually Tuesday, even though it's Thursday, because I just left the committee meeting. I had 2 already this morning. Normally we would do that on Tuesdays, but as you know, we did have a bit of a break. So I want to thank you all for being here. I think this is a great opportunity to begin a new future for SUNY institutions. Today we are announcing this bill that will provide for a rational tuition plan, the one that was supported and voted on by the SUNY trustees a few weeks back, which many of them are standing behind me. I really congratulate them on taking that step. And I'm hopeful that my colleagues in the legislature, although there are only 2 members of the Assembly here with me today, will understand the value of this and the value of this to the families that they all represent. And that prior to the close of session, which you all know is imminent, we will have a rational tuition bill in place that will allow the SUNY institutions to prepare our workforce, to prepare our student population, and to help grow the economy of the entire state of New York. I am pleased to be joined by
Thank you, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. I cannot tell you how proud and pleased we are with the leadership that is being addressed today by Assemblymember Crystal Peoples-Stokes and by Senator James Seward. We thank them both. We are so proud of the courage and the leadership that they are showing in sponsoring these bills on rational tuition. I want to say that usually the SUNY presidents are out in front of me. Today they happen to be behind, but it is the leadership of the presidents of our 64 campuses that really makes SUNY great. So I want to thank you one and all for being here. Thank you. Thank yourselves. Really terrific. Very pleased that we are joined, of course, by Trustee Carl McCall. Let me just reiterate really the points that the Assembly member and the Senator are making today. SUNY sees itself as the economic growth engine for the state of New York. That's why we spent the first year of my tenure here crafting a strategic plan called the Power of SUNY to really revitalize this economy and the quality of life for every New York citizen. After all, we are within 30 miles of every New Yorker, and we are a huge operation, and we can be a leader. Secondly, 2 weeks ago, we told you that we're really going to implement this plan, and we issued our first baseline report card to show you that you can count on us to tell you how we're doing. And 2 days ago, we issued our report on the economic impact of the State University of New York. Senator Stewart has referred to it. We do make a difference. Our growth strategy depends on rational tuition. Rational tuition is the bedrock of our plan and the courses and the programs they need. There is no greater champion of rational tuition than the SUNY Board of Trustees. I'm very pleased to introduce someone who is familiar to all of us and really appreciated by all of us, and that's our trustee. Today, I give you Carl McCall. Carl?
Thank you, Chancellor. Good friends, thank you. I want to give my thanks and congratulations to Senator Stewart and to Crystal Stokes for their leadership in terms of coming forward with this bill, which puts in place the rational tuition program that is essential for the ongoing support of SUNY. If there was some other way, we would all be supporting it. But this is the only available, resource that we have. And we hope you will all support it. And you know, I'm so glad our students are here. We'd like to hear from our students. But you know what? We've already heard from the elected representatives of the student bodies across the state.
You do not represent the students.
They still became president of the United States. That's what happened. So the fact is, the students who were voted, the students who represent the student assemblies across the state, they were the first to come forward with this plan. They said they wanted rational, predictable tuition, and that's what we've given them. So we hope we will all be able to work together before this session ends to get this bill passed. It is essential for SUNY's future. Thank you.
I have a question. Am I part of the media or am I just...
You're a citizen. Ask your question.
Okay. My question is this. As part of I'm a veteran of the Air Force, and I consider myself a throwaway. Have you ever even considered of cutting your pay and cutting pay of the legislators that's here so that some of these people some of these students can afford it? You know, $500,000 for an administrator is a lot of money. That's $500,000.
I don't know anybody.
You don't know anybody who's in the administration that makes $500,000?
190 is what Nancy right next to you
Let me answer your question. You asked if I've ever considered cutting.
But I'm asking you a question. Let me finish the question, sir.
Can you respond?
Let me answer.
I'm not done with the question.
All right, go ahead then. Let's hear some more.
This is my question. Have you guys ever considered of cutting your pay along with what you're cutting with the citizens' pay? Have you ever considered that?
Yes, except I don't get paid, so my pay, we haven't considered those pay cuts, and I don't think that would make a difference in terms of what we need to fund university. But I appreciate your question.
But if we're all in this together...
We'll take a question. Can I just respond in regards to the salary, particularly of legislators? You know, I've been here for 9 years, and the salary has been the same since I've been here. And I'm not running away from that. I'm fine with that. But I know that a lot of my colleagues, because, you know, I live in Buffalo where the cost of living is a lot lower. They live in New York City where the cost of living is a lot higher. They would love to have a pay raise, but it's not possible now because there are no additional resources for that. With people whose financial needs call for it. So, and there's also, I want to say about 5 or 6 other opportunities where people can get grants, Pell, all those sorts of things to attend college. there's no reason why anyone who wants to attend a public higher ed institution in the state of New York, no matter what their income is, why they cannot afford it, because there's help out there for them. And if they're unable to find it, then I would invite them to call my office, and I'll be happy to help.
We'll take another question from a member of the press. Go ahead.
I know that the UB 2020...
Talk about money going back to the classroom. Is there anything in the bill that specifically mandates how this money would be spent for classroom programs?
None of it.
Well, I don't think there's specificity in how the administration should decide to spend that money, but there is specificity to say that whatever is collected at whatever particular institution, that it has to stay there. And we'll have to trust that the trustees and the college councils will make the right decisions on how the resources are used.